Hello friends, welcome back. And in this video, we are going to discuss about the verse number 2 and 3 of chapter 13 of Bhagwad Gita. So, you know that we have already discussed in this playlist in the very first video and also in the previous video where we discussed the verse number 1 of this chapter. There also we have discussed that why we are discussing Bhagwad Gita in a particular order. We are not discussing it from the chapter number 1. We have started discussion from chapter number 13 and till 18. Then we will discuss from chapter number 7 to 12 and then from chapter number 1 to 6. So why we are following this particular sequence that we have already discussed in the prerequisites video and also in the previous video where we have discussed verse number 1. So you can visit there, right? So in this video we are going to discuss about the verse number 2 and verse number 3, where Lord Krishna, as a response to the Arjuna's question, Arjuna asked like, what is the body? What is the field? What is called field, and who is the knower, and what has to be known, what we should know, right? As a seeker, what I should try to find out, right? So all those questions were put forth by Arjuna to Lord Krishna. So now in these two verses, in fact, in the coming verses as well, Lord Krishna will respond to Arjuna as the answer, like what answer he's going to give, that we are going to discuss in this video. So let us go to the verse number 2, where Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, which means that Lord Krishna is answering. He's saying in the response to the question of Arjuna. Okay, so in the previous video, you can see what question Arjuna has asked. Okay. And always remember one thing, that Bhagavad Gita is not only a book where there is a conversation between a disciple and a guru or a teacher. It's a complete guide towards all the teachers, for all the teachers and for all the students in this world. Like what kind of questions you should ask, what should be the level of your questions, right? What kind of questions you should ask, right? And how humble a student should be towards his teacher, and how the teacher should handle the answers, and how much he should be patience while answering to a student. That all has been discussed, that all can be portrayed through the Bhagavad Gita, that all has been portrayed through the Bhagavad Gita. You can see there are lot many questions Arjuna asked, right? There are 700 verses, and there are many verses where Arjuna has asked lot many questions. So I'm not going to tell exactly what is the total number of those verses, because few people try to also explain that. But yes, you can count. So you can find it from other sources, like how many verses has been told by Arjuna. That is not not the point to discuss. The only point to discuss is like how to understand Bhagavad Gita, what we are trying to understand. That is the main thing. Okay, so uh, in this verse, Lord Krishna is trying to answer to the Arjuna, right? So how he is responding, what he is trying to say, that all we are going to discuss today. On the top, you can see two pictures. One picture is related to the creation, okay, and the other picture is related to our body, the layers of body. There are five layers of body, and there are two levels of this creation. The creation in which we are residing, where we are living, that is known as apara. In Hindi, we write is like apara, right? And this is, on the top one is known as para. Okay, so the para and apara, there are two parts of this creation, right? We will discuss in detail all about these two pictures, how many layers are there, and of body, and what those layers are working, how those layers are working. All those things we are going to discuss in the coming videos. In fact, in this chapter only, we are going to confirm all these concepts, because without these concepts, without these two pictures, understanding these two pictures, you will not be able to understand the verses of Bhagavad Gita. In fact, if you are if you are always having these two pictures in your mind, then every verse that you are going to read from Bhagavad Gita, you will be able to understand it easily. It will help you a lot to take a meaning, I mean, to get the meaning of the verse, what has been said, because Bhagavad Gita is a crux of all the Upanishads, right? So all the Upanishads, the crux of all the Upanishads that has been put forth in here, and these two things where I'm talking about para and apara, the two parts of the creation and five layers of the body, all these things have been very well explained in many Upanishads, and these are the two important concepts that you must know before you can understand Bhagavad Gita, because Bhagavad Gita is also an Upanishad. This is also an Upanishad. That is why Bhagavad Gita is also known as Gita Upanishad. Gita as an Upanishad. That is the meaning of Gita Upanishad, right? So Gita, Bhagavad Gita is also known as Gita Upanishad. This is also considered as one of the Upanishads, because Upanishads means sitting beside the teacher and getting the knowledge from him, right? So similarly in this Bhagavad Gita as well, first of all, it's a crux of all the Upanishads, and second thing is that here also, just like the meaning of Upanishad, one disciple, one student who is Arjuna, he is trying to seek the knowledge from the supreme guru, supreme master, supreme teacher. He is Lord Krishna. So that is why this is also called as Upanishad. It is rightly said to be an Upanishad in true sense. It's an Upanishad. That is why it is known as Gita Upanishad. Okay. So let us understand what Lord Krishna is trying to respond here. So Lord Krishna said, Idam sariram kaunteya kshetra mitya bhidiyate etaddayo veti tam prahu kshetragya iti tat tadvidah. Okay, so what is the meaning of this verse? Okay, so if you want to refer any book, like what is the meaning of these words, you can refer. Otherwise, I can also, from the next video onwards, I can put the meanings of each of the words here, right? I can take the reference of any book that I have. It may be from any online source, or maybe, from any book that I have referred. So those things from there, I will just put some meanings of all these words. So let me tell you what Lord Krishna is trying to say here. Lord Krishna is trying to say that, oh Arjuna, this body, the body which I have, this particular body, this is known as the field, Kshetra. Kshetra means field. And the one who knows this body is called Kshetragya, the knower of the field. Okay, so this body is called the field, and the person and the one who knows this body is known as the knower, right? So let me explain it to you. Okay, this particular body, I have this particular body, right? This particular body is having 40 years of age. This particular body used to, have some habits in the childhood days. This particular body has some kind of, some kind of interest in particular subjects, in particular matters, right? This particular body has something different from others. So, this particular body is not myself, right? The one who knows that this is my body and this is 40 years of age, this is having 40, this has attained the 40 years of age. The one who from inside, who knows that this body is 40 years of age. Earlier, it was a small boy. Now, this is a big man and it's 40 years of age. That someone is different than this body, right? Let me explain you in a in a better way. When you sleep, when you are, having dreams in your sleep, then also you are alive, right? The one who see that dream, he is the one who is inside you. When that you inside, when that sees the dream, you don't know that it's not this you, but yes, you are inside, right? So that one who, at the time of watching the dream, at comes to another level of the consciousness, that is someone who knows this field, who watch the dreams, who see the dreams. And there is someone inside our body. He's the same one who is inside our body when we sleep without any dreams. We don't know where we are. Even we don't know that we know something. We cannot know as well in that state of, consciousness. So that inside us, who sleeps, who awakes inside us, right? Without our knowledge, without our permission, he watches the dreams, right? That someone is known as the knower of the field. But this particular body through which we do some job, this is known as the field, right? So this is field, and the one inside me who knows that yes, I am 40 years of age, yes, I got angry, right? That's someone who inside me, knows about this body, how it is working, knows about this body, how to use it, right? What this body did, what is the age of this body, that particular inside me is known as the knower, right? So the two questions were so in the previous question in verse number one, when Arjuna asked, there were two things which he asked, right? There are other things are also asked, but yes, these two things have been answered in this one. What is field? This body is the field, and who is the knower of the field? The one inside me who sleeps, who knows how much age I have, how many years of my life I have already spent, right? What are the uh, habits, what are the interests, all those things. Who knows those things, that is known as the knower of this field. So this is field, and the one inside me is the knower of this field, because the knower who is inside me is apart from this body. He is not this body, he is someone else, right? Because in absence of any activity in my body, that inside me, you know, dreams. He watches dreams. He sleeps without dreams, right? Still, he is alive. He keeps me alive. So that someone is someone else. So first of all, from the experience, from your own experience, you must need to understand that someone is there inside you who is apart from this body. That is known as knower, and this body itself is known as the field. Okay, so I hope you might have understood the meaning of this verse or what he is trying to say. Now let us come to the verse number 3. Now Lord Krishna says that you know about your body. Kshetragyam chapi mam viddhati sarva kshetresu bharata kshetra kshetra gayor jnanam tatta jagyanam matammam. So what is the meaning of this? Lord Krishna says that you know your body. Inside your body, there is someone who knows you, who knows this body. But apart from that someone, there is someone, say S1, right? There is someone who knows your body. This is your body. He knows your body. He is inside your body, right? He is inside your body. He knows you. He knows your body. But apart from this someone, there is another someone, capital S, who knows this body, the other bodies, all the bodies, right? So that someone, apart from this someone who knows your body, there is another someone who knows your body and the other bodies as well throughout the world, right? So that someone is like a thread, and all the others who has body, they are like the pearls, right? So this particular thread who has all these pearls is known as the supreme soul or the Paramatmana or the God, okay? And these pearls, these are known as the knower of the field, personal knower of the field. He is the supreme knower of the field. That is what he's trying to say, that I am also a knower, but I am not a kind of knower who only knows one body, he knows the supreme knower. It means Lord Krishna himself is saying that I am the supreme knower. Being a supreme knower, I know all the bodies, S1, S2, S3, S4, S5, everyone he knows. So this supreme soul knows everyone. So this particular knower is the supreme knower. So he's saying that I'm also a knower who is a supreme knower. It's like you are uh, you are the government. Suppose you are the government. You are a representative of the government who takes care of all the fields in a village, right? So a person who has his own field, he knows only about his field, but the government knows the field of all the people in the in that particular village, right? In that particular village, he knows about every field, everyone's field, every farmer's field. Okay, so that is something he's trying to explain here. That You are inside you, there is someone who knows you, right? He is a knower. But apart from that knower, there is one more knower, and that knower is me. So I also know your body. You also know your body. But you personally know your body, but I know your body, others' body as well. What they are thinking, what they are doing, I can see everyone. I know everybody. That is the difference between, you know, a person, a jeev, right? Right? And Paramatma, which means the Supreme Soul, a soul and the Supreme Soul. There is a difference between soul and Supreme Soul. This is known as soul, S1, S2, S3, and this is Supreme Soul, which is the God, right? Which is the supreme energy. Soul is nothing. It's in other words, you can say, this is energy, right? It's energy, supreme energy. From this energy, different kind of energies have been induced, right? In this nature from those energies, because you know from the basic science, you know that energy gets converted into matter. Can take any form, energy can take other forms, energy can never be destroyed. So similarly, the supreme soul or these souls, they can never be destroyed. These supreme energies and these energies, they can never be destroyed. They can only take from one form to other form, and that is the reason of explanation of reincarnation, the births, right? Birth means a new matter, right? So, how a new matter is created, that is what has been explained already, right? By the science itself, right? Science has also said that yes, energy gets converted into matter, and this science, this science of Bhagavad Gita also explains the same thing that this supreme energy or this soul has, this supreme soul has induced other fond of, energies which are known as Atman, right? They are known as souls. They have been induced through this supreme soul has induced these souls, right, these energies. So an energy, a particular energy, or you can say a particular wave is inducing some other wave, right? Every wave is an energy, and wave, energy, frequency, all these things we must need to understand, and we must need to go through all these throughout the discussion of Bhagavad Gita to make it easy for you to understand, because anything that has been said in Bhagavad Gita you can feel and you can understand either, you know, through the experiments on yourself, or through the, through the experience that you have you know, just like when I say that, yes, when you sleep, then also you are alive. So there is someone else who is, sleeping inside you. So that is your experience. Even that is your experience when you sleep and you don't know what is happening, whether I exist or not. Even none of the thoughts come. You don't know if you are there or not there. You don't have any sense of being or not being there, right? So that thing is soul, right? So what is that soul? That soul is just like you might have seen the, fire, right? That fire is a big thing, right? There's a big fire, and then there are the, small chariots, okay? So these are the smaller, you know, flames. Out of the flames, these are the smaller, chariots are coming out. So these are known as the souls. These are kind of souls, and this complete fire, right? This complete fire is known as supreme soul. This can be, this can be understood as a supreme soul, and these chariots, these can be taken as the souls, the energies which takes the form of human beings, or the bodies, which takes the body, right? Which converts into the body, which converts into a matter, right? So there are two things. One thing is soul, which is energy, which is known as Atman, and then there is supreme energy, which is supreme power, which is the supreme soul. He is known as the God, and that is the one what Lord Krishna is and what he is trying to explain. So he is trying to explain the same thing, that I am the supreme soul, I am the supreme master who knows everybody's body, but everybody knows only about his body. So every knower only knows about his body. But I am the supreme knower, I know about all the bodies. I hope you might have understood these two verses, and in the next video, we are going to discuss more verses from this chapter. And this chapter is really very important for you to understand, because without understanding chapter number 13, 14, and 15, you cannot understand Bhagavad Gita entirely. And that is why I have started from chapter number 13, right? Because our mind first takes up the concepts related to the science, then our psychology in the science gets developed, and then when the psychology has been developed, we can enter into the philosophy of that subject. We do the PhD, we do the philosophy in doctorate. So that is what the sequence of this world is. Since we are in this world and none of us, most of us are not devoted, most of us have not surrendered. Since we have not surrendered, so understanding Bhagavad Gita from chapter 1 poses some challenge to few of the people. But to overcome that, as an inspiration, as some kind of, when I was reading Bhagavad Gita, that some kind of inspiration came into my mind that yes, this could help others. It's not a formula. I'm not claiming that this is the formula and you must need to read in this manner, but yes, this helped me, this helped others, and this will help you. This can help you, rather, I should say this can also help you. That is why I have taken Bhagavad Gita from chapter number 13, right? And believe me, when we will read from 13 to 18, then 7 to 12, and then from 1 to 6, you will not feel like you are somewhere disconnected or we are understanding haphazardly from somewhere. No, you will not feel it at all. That's sure, right? And if you read it from start, then also you will not feel like somewhere something has been, missed out, right? So that is a natural flow from chapter number 1 to chapter number 18. But in this one as well, you will think that yes, we are going into a right sequence. You will not feel that you are reading chapters in a chunk from 13 to 18, 7 to 12. It will look like after understanding this, I am able to understand this set of chapters from 7 to 12. And after understanding 7 to 12, yes, you will be able to feel it that yes, these things are coming in some logical sequence, right? So that is why we have taken this. Maybe it will help you to understand Bhagavad Gita, and that is why I have taken the Bhagavad Gita in this sequence. I hope you might have understood the today's video, the verses that we have discussed, and in the next video we will meet soon. Till then, Hare Krishna, Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Shri Krishna.